Hello mathematicians, in this video we are going to be looking at addition and subtraction of fractions so that we are able to master adding and subtracting like and unlike fractions. So to kickstart, we are going to look at the outcomes of the lesson. We want to be able to add fractions with like and unlike denominators. Also to be able to subtract fractions with like and unlike denominators and be able to solve word problems as we go. Right, so now let's recall from our previous knowledge of fractions. We know that proper fractions are those fractions which have numerators that appear smaller than the denominators. For example, 1/4 is a proper fraction and 1/5 is a proper fraction. Why? Because the one at the top there, the numerator is smaller and the denominator 4 and 5 are bigger. The other thing to note is that improper fractions, or the other one thing we are recalling, is that improper fractions have denominators which are smaller than the numerators this time. So the reverse argument could be that the improper fractions have numerators which are bigger than the denominators. So we have examples of 4/3, 5/4, 10/9, 10/3, any fraction as long as the denominator is smaller than the numerator. Another thing to note again is to recall there are fractions, types of fractions which we call like fractions and unlike fractions. Like fractions are those ones which have the same denominator. You can see here that we have a 4 and a 4. So 1/4 and 3/4 are like fractions because their denominators are the same. It is easy to handle them. And then we have another fraction which is called unlike fraction. In unlike fractions, you can notice that the denominators are different. In this fraction, we have 1/4. In the other one, we have 1/5. So they are unlike fractions because they have got different denominators. In order to resolve problems including or involving unlike fractions, we may need to work differently than normal. So let's try a problem. We are on a picnic and you have a problem there. Danny ate 1/2 of a slice of watermelon. Kai ate 1/6 of a slice of watermelon. How much watermelon did Danny and Kai eat all together? So here in this example, they are eating the same watermelon, but you can see here that they are eating different amounts or different proportions or different sections of the wall. Remember that a fraction is a part of a wall. So in this case, the wall is the slice and Danny is eating half of that slice whilst Kai is eating 1/6. So now we want to see how we can solve that problem. Now, in this problem, we are going to resolve it this way. Right? So we have 1/2 here. We're going to add Danny ate 1/2 and Kai ate 1/6. So now what we are going to do, we're going to try and add these fractions. So to be able to add these fractions, the first step is to find a common denominator. The common denominator is usually the lowest common multiple of the denominators. In this case, it would be 6, right? If we list the multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, and if we list the multiples of 6, 6 is a multiple of itself. So we express these ones as multiples of 6. So since already 1/6 has got the denominator being 6, we need to convert this 1/2 to be a fraction of 6. What do we do? To get 2 to 6, we need to multiply by 3. So what we do for the denominator, we also do for the numerator. So hence we are going to multiply both by 3. The denominator by 3, the numerator by 3. So what we will get is, if you multiply 1 by 3, we get 3. And if you multiply 2 by 3, we get 6. So our problem now will be 3 over 6 plus 1 over 6. All right? So let's move on and try to solve now this problem. So now we have 1 over 2 plus 1 over 6 translating to 3 over 6 plus 1 over 6. Now when it is like this, it is easier to handle. We now just add the fractions normally. We just maintain the denominator 6 here, and then we add the numerator as 3 plus 1, which gives us 4 over 6. So how much did they eat in total? They ate 4 over 6 of the whole slice of the watermelon. All right. When we get to this stage, we can also reduce to the lowest term so that our fraction is left in its lowest terms possible. In this case, we're going to divide by 2 over 2, and our final answer will be 2 over 3, like this. All right. So these are the steps which we took, and we are going to try and see another problem. We're going to try and work this problem again. We're going to work out another problem. Now, in this problem, we're given a subtraction problem. Alice took 3/4 of a kg or 3 over 4 of a kg of lemons to make lemonade. All right. And she only used 2/3 or 2 over 3 of the lemon. How much did she have left? So in this example, you again find a common multiple between the denominators 3 over 4 and 2 over 3. So a simpler method would be, if you cannot list the denominators to find the common multiples, just multiply the denominators together to get the lowest, or to get any common denominator, and then use that common denominator to you can reduce the answer to its lowest terms, and you still get the same answer. So we're going to start with 3 over 4. 3 over 4, we multiply 4 by 3, we get 12. So 3 over 4 is a fraction of 12. So since we are concentrating on the denominator, to get the denominator to get to 12, what we do is we multiply by 3. 4 multiplied by 3, we get 12. And what we do for the denominator, we also do for the numerator. 3 multiplied by 3, we get 9. So 3 over 4 can also be expressed as 9 over 12. Again, in the same manner, 2 over 3, to express it as a fraction of 12, what we simply do is we find how many times this 3 can get into 12, which is 4. So since we're going to multiply by 4 for the denominator, we also need to multiply by 4 for the numerator. 3 multiplied by 4 gives us 12. 2 multiplied by 4 gives us 8. Now we can operate with 9 over 12 subtracting 8 over 12. It is easier now to handle. Okay, so now it's easy to subtract the fractions. We are going to subtract the numerator, 9 minus 8, and then the denominator will remain the same, and our final answer will be 1 over 12. That will be our final answer there. Okay, let's have another problem. I'm going to try the last two problems. So the first problem says Sam lives 5 over 8 of a kilometer away from school, while Zach lives 1 over 4 of a kilometer away from school. 5/8 of a kilometer, 1/4 of a kilometer away from school. How much further is Sam's house from Zach's house from the school. Okay, so you need to understand these word problems may come a bit tricky. You need to appreciate what is happening there. So what we are going to do is we're going to find the distance between Sam's house and Zek's house, all right, in relation to the school. And we are also going to do the next one. Farmer Rain has 3/7 kg of papaya, while Farmer New has half a kg of papaya. How many kilograms of papaya do they have altogether? This is a simple addition problem. All right, so let's see how we work these ones out. So I'm going to give you just a few seconds. Right, so now here we are going to find the common denominator. Since here we already have an 8 and a 4, the most simple common denominator to use would be to use 8. So we're going to express both of these as fractions of 8. So 8 into 8, that's 1. 1 multiplied by 5, that's 5. Then 4 into 8, 2. 2 multiplied by 1, that's 2. Then 5 minus 2 gives us 3/8. So our final answer would be 3/8. Right? Then for the second one, 3/7 plus 1/2. So this one again, we find the common denominator. The easiest one will be just to multiply the denominators, and we get 14 here. 7 into 14, that's 2. 2 multiplied by 3. Going to add 2 into 14, 7 multiplied by 1. That's how we convert fractions to the lowest common denominator. Right, so now 2 multiplied by 3 gives us 6, plus 7 multiplied by 1, 7/14. And then we add 6 plus 7, we get 13, and the denominator remains the same. All right, let's check if our answers were correct. Yes, we got 3/8 for a kilometer and 13/14. Right, so that is good. This is what we get. So it is very easy to work with this simple addition and subtraction of fractions. You just need to take note that follow a few rules which we are going to use or to have in the summary. The first thing to note, before adding or subtracting fractions, you need to make sure that they have the same denominator, so that we we make them easy to operate. And then secondly, we must add or subtract the numerators, but the denominators must stay the same. All right, I hope you've benefited. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Please subscribe to help our videos spread.